little bit of a rainy day, so it doesn't feel so bad to be inside. As Bob said, my name is Knute Buehler. I'm running for Secretary of State. I just want to make a couple of quick introductions here. Many of you may have met Joel Thomas, my campaign manager in the back. Joel, raise your hand there. Joel's doing a great job running Buehler 2012, and we're off to a good start. And probably the most important person to thank is my wife Patty, who's standing next to Joel. Patty, if you could raise your hand there. Patty and I met in medical school many years ago. We actually met in an anatomy lab. True story. And I think she gave me a older shoulder than my cadaver when we were on our first meeting. But persistence pays, and if you keep at it, you can persevere. And we've had a great life together now for 22 years, just yesterday. So this is what she gets for anniversary present. So I was born not too far away from here, right in Roseburg. I went to Roseburg Public Schools. I was raised by two great parents who didn't even have the opportunity to finish high school. So they always stressed my brother and myself the importance of going to college. I went on to Oregon State, where I studied U.S. history and microbiology. And then was awarded a Rhodes Scholarship, went on to Oxford and got a master's in politics and economics, and then a medical degree. And 15 years ago, Patty and I settled in Bend, where we started medical practices and raised two great children, Hannah and Owen. And I just can't thank them enough for the sacrifice your family has to put in for you to run for political office. And so I'm just very grateful I have such a strong family at home to help back me up during this process. We've been running hard now for the last 4 or 5 months since we kicked off the campaign for Secretary of State. And we're running on 3 main messages. I think it's really important that we make Oregon more welcoming for business and job creation. Unfortunately, this state has developed an anti-business culture, which we need to put to rest. The second message is, I feel strongly that we need more oversight of our state and local government. Our government's just running amiss, and there's so much waste and inefficiency. And being head of the audits as Secretary of State, that's a place where you can have real impact. Then the third message is, we need to make our elections more fair and less partisan. Our current Secretary of State has really made our election division a partisan weapon to use against not only Republicans, but minor parties, even independent voters, and certainly even those people who want to put ballot measures before us. She's just raised the barriers for those excessively, and it's even become almost too risky for grassroots people to do those ballot measures anymore. And I think we have a great opportunity in 2012 in this state of the Republican Party. We have the opportunity for historic wins in 2012. Think about what we can do. We have help from people like you in this room. We can take back the Oregon House. That's probably a high likelihood. We may even take the Oregon Senate. And for the first time in decades, we can win statewide elections in Oregon as Republicans. We have 2 great candidates for statewide office, Senator Starr, and I like to think myself as a top-notch candidate. But more importantly, the messages that voters want to hear are those messages that Republican candidates and the Republican Party own. Fiscal responsibility. That's a big deal for people. Jobs and improving our economy. And for the first time in a long time, having real true leaders in Salem, not people who are just following along. And those are issues that are associated with the Republican Party and Republican candidates, and we can win in Oregon with those kinds of messages. Now, my opponent, since we've kicked off our campaign, has made a series of mistakes. She keeps on appearing in the press for really stepping on landmines. She moved Senator Starr's race for labor commissioner from May to November on a technicality. She finds people putting ballot measures before us tens of thousands of dollars for small technical issues. Why she only fines her public employee union buddies who are actually working on campaigns on the job, $75. And these things keep on coming out over and over again. Even Willamette Week says that she has been excessively partisan, that she faces a serious and well-financed Republican candidate. In the Bend Bulletin, questions her incompetence and really says that she let down the voters in moving that election from May to November. Those things have to stop. So let me give you an idea of what we've accomplished since we kicked off the campaign. I personally visited 34 out of 36 counties around Oregon, so that's a lot of miles on the old Ford Explorer, about 22,000 miles thus far. We've recruited key volunteers all across the state. Terry Moffitt is one. Terry, are you in the room? Terry is helping us in Eugene, Lane County area. And we've actually have county chairs in over 30 of the 36 counties to help run our campaign. So that's really a great start in terms of grassroots organizing. We've outraised our incumbent opponent. Now, my opponent's been in office for over 20 years. We still out-fundraised her 2 to 1. 2 to 1. And you'll see in the next few weeks, we'll be announcing some major donations, which will put our campaign fundraising at a level never before seen by a Republican candidate for Secretary of State. So we have great momentum. That will give us the war chest that allow us to be very competitive in the November election. And we've received great press so far, even from unusual sources like Willamette Week. So even with all that head start, with great volunteers, and with funds on hand, and a great campaign team that's been assembled, we know we can't do it alone. It's going to take help from people like you in this room, grassroots Republicans who feel passionately about the need to turn this state around. Turn it around from 20 years of decline. You all know what I'm talking about. We've seen it. Our economy has gone downhill. Our school quality suffers, ranks some of the lowest in the country. We have more and more kids showing up hungry at school. So let me tell you what you can do to help both myself and Senator Starr's campaign. We need you out walking doors with us. We have committed, I'm going to link up with many of the campaigns around the state, for state rep, for county commissioners. I'm going to be up in Eugene this Saturday, or next Saturday, so if anyone wants to meet us up there, just talk to Joel. And that really makes a big impact. And if any of you haven't walked neighborhoods before, it's very satisfying. People really appreciate it. You took the effort to come out and meet them personally, and it's very rewarding. So that's one thing you can do. Second thing is like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Those things allow us to get our message out quickly and economically. And then finally, I've been asking people to do this for months now. Just go home after today and tell 5 to 10 people. You heard this new Republican candidate for Secretary of State that can make a big difference in the state of Oregon. And then those people tell another 5 people, and it just continues to gain momentum. So, in conclusion, I know you have a busy day. My name is Knute Buehler. I'm running for Oregon Secretary of State. We've assembled a great team. We're running hard. We have every intention of having that historic breakthrough victory in November. So if you're like I am and you expect more out of our state government, if you don't like this 20 years of downward decline in the state of Oregon, join us and we'll get Oregon working again. Thank you very much.